Recording. All right, so welcome, and thank you all so much for being a part of the Health and Wellness Expo. Thank you for joining our session. I want to say thanks to our presenters from Exercise is Medicine. We have a great session planned today. Just a couple of things to note before we get started. So one, this session is being recorded, so you can refer back to this session. We'll be able to post on our website starting next Wednesday, April 21st. So you'll be able to get that information or share with others that aren't able to attend today's session. We encourage you to attend as many sessions as you can for the Health and Wellness Expo. We have sessions tomorrow on Wednesday and also sessions all day on Thursday. We are giving away t-shirts and water bottles as a raffle item. So the more sessions you attend, the more chances you have to win. Please do. I mean, this session will be led by this group, so feel free to, work with your muting and unmuting. I know this is going to be a conversation style, so feel free to use the chat. And I'm going to pass this along. I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll pass this along to Kevin and the rest of the team for Exercise is Medicine. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Well, guys, welcome to the Exercise is Medicine podcast. My name is Kevin Rice. I'm the president of Exercise is Medicine. I'm here with my team today. We have a lot of interesting topics coming up, especially in the mental health field. So I'm going to go one by one. Beckett, we can start with you by introducing yourself.
Hi, I'm Beckett McAwee. I'm a sophomore here, second semester sophomore. I'm the vice president of Exercise in Medicine. And I look forward to talking about all the different topics that we have today. There's some physical health things that we're going to cover. We're going to talk about a lot of just general well-being. So I'm excited for the conversation.
Alrighty, Tyler.
What's up, guys? I'm Tyler. I'm a second semester sophomore at Rowan. I'm the president of the Rowan Exercise Partners for Exercise Medicine. And yeah, I'm looking forward to, talking about all these different topics about mental health. So yeah.
Cool. All right, now CJ.
What's up, guys? I'm CJ. I'm the historian of EIM. I got plenty of things to talk about, so I hope you guys are ready to talk today.
Sure thing. And Kyle.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kyle Keith, and I'm the senator for Exercise Medicine. I'm super excited to talk about what we have today, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Awesome. Alrighty, so start things off. I kind of wanted to start with a little note. I think it ties in perfectly. It's a little statement, but wanted to start off with a little quote. Not really sure who it's from, but it's that we can't control the circumstances that we're in, but we can control how we prepare and how we react to those circumstances. I think that's going to roll right into our first topic question of, for anyone who wants to jump in first, would be, you guys have any kind of daily ritual or something that kind of sets the tone for the day that's really going to kind of get you inspired, or something that someone else could take away or try to implement into their day? It really just sets the day for them.
I'll go first. So one thing that I've been doing, it's really easy during COVID, but it can be a little bit more difficult once our classes are back in person. But one thing that I really like doing is the classes I don't need to take notes for. You mostly just listen to the teacher. You kind of gain whatever information. They post the lectures online or the PowerPoints online. I've been going on walks during my classes. It's nice to get outside. And it's at the beginning of the year, it was kind of, it could be depressing to go outside just because around campus, I would see all the time there would be nobody out. It would be like just barren. There would be nobody out doing anything, not a lot of like social interaction. But lately, the past couple of weeks, there's been a lot of people out there playing basketball. I've seen people skateboarding around. I've seen some classes outside, which are great. And so like going on those early morning walks has been definitely an uplifter for my day. It kind of just sets the tone for the rest of my day. It kind of brings up my mood. And of course, you get some steps in, so it's good there too. But so it's good physically, it's good mentally. I've been starting my day doing those. And I think I've been happier because of it, for sure.
I actually take walks myself. It's a good kind of like escape. I don't typically take my classes out there, but when I feel really stressed out, I think listening to music or even just like another podcast, just taking that walk, like it really clears your mind and like it settles me down completely. Like I might have 3 papers to write for coming up this next semester. But it gives me time to think and really reflect on what's coming up.
Yeah, me personally, like, I think the best thing I can do is kind of use that walking time. Like, occasionally I'll go out. I can make it basketball time, walking time, like as long as you're getting out somewhere.
Mhm.
But just feeling like, you're absorbing the sun, and it just feels good to like be outside now. I think that's like one of the biggest things that we kind of like threw under the radar was like getting outside. And even if it's like a small thing, like going to a grocery store, like interaction with people, I think is another thing that helps with like mental health. And I just been really enjoying like kind of getting back into being human again. So I think a lot of people feel that way too.
Yeah, especially with the weather being nice now. I think that plays a big role in it too. Kind of waking up to sunlight, and having the sun around longer and like later into the night. I think that even just even just something with the weather can raise up people's moods, compared to during wintertime when it's cold and the sun isn't out for that long, and it's not as nice outside.
For sure.
One thing I look forward to in my week every week is my Thursday nights, because usually that's like the last day I have all my classes or all my assignments due. I usually go to the gym for my leg day every Thursday for like an hour and a half, hour 45. It's probably the most peaceful time of my week, even though it's really hard. But I look forward to it every week.
Yeah, I think having a separate day, like kind of to dedicate to like your own mental health is awesome. Especially the end of the week, everything is pretty much handed in and you just relax, even if it's just for a few hours doing something you really enjoy. I know CJ, gym addict, we love it. The gym is our kind of it's a getaway. And for some people that might be a walk, for some people it might be a run or a bike ride. But doing something you really enjoy and getting away from the stress makes one hell of a difference.
Yeah. I think one thing that's really important, like that kind of helps me with like how I think about things, is kind of building that schedule when I wake up. Like, it doesn't have to be like a kind of plan ahead a couple of days, but when you wake up, you kind of think like, okay, I want to get this done, and this done, and kind of set like a reasonable goal. That way you're not kind of over exerting yourself. And you should always have free time to do some sort of fun thing, but not like, it shouldn't be like a lazy day off, but it should be something reasonable.
I agree.
Yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of I saw this post online, and it was something along the lines of like everyone needs a day where they like sit around and eat a bunch of junk food and play video games, and it's like a good mental day. But for me, honestly, like I think the best mental days for me are when I'm able to get outside and be active and even hit the gym.
Mhm.
I think if I'm improving my physical fitness, um, I feel like my mental well state also, like, or my mental state also goes with it. Just because, first of all, I feel good physically, I'll feel good mentally, and usually it often involves going outside or going to the gym, which I enjoy.
Sure
Yeah, I was
thing.
gonna say I'm like a pretty big golfer, so I just like to just get out and like just like walking the course can be like just really good for you like mentally. Um, so I mean like that's just like really like that's probably my like favorite parts of the week. So just when I get to go out and golfing, and just like walking the course, because I don't really go for like deliberate walks. So like my walking that I get in is like when I go out and golf and stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah.
That's awesome. I've only golfed once, but my swing is pretty awful. I'm not gonna lie, but it is very peaceful. I'm not gonna lie, but Kyle brought up a point earlier I wanted to go back to with the planning. I don't know if any of you guys have tried this, but I don't even know if I can classify it as journaling. I keep this notebook and I have all my daily agendas to come up. First thing when I wake up, I write down 3 things that like I have to get accomplished. And by the end of the night, when I can check off each one of those, like I can call it a successful day. And it makes so much of a difference. Like mentally knowing that you're getting something done. I mean, a lot of people just, the counter argument that I hear is that people have a mental checklist of what they need to get done. And personally, I think when you're able to, like, right before bed, just check those things off, it mentally clears that you got stuff done today and you're improving each one. I don't know if anyone else has experience with that, or kind of like a mental checklist or journaling, but it's something I highly recommend.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually this week, I picked up the habit of just kind of like what you do. I write down like 3 different goals, 3 different things that I want to get done for the day. And I find that that really helps me kind of stay focused on what I need to get done for the day. And that really helps me when it comes to like achieving my long-term goal. So yeah, I started it this week and it's really helped. And I definitely would say everyone should do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't really write anything down, but I definitely know what I want to get done with the day. And usually I can't get myself to like settle down and relax until I really got those things done. Um, so that's definitely something that I like to do, even though I don't really write anything down. I'd also like to invite anyone who's in attendance and watching, if they have any ideas or anything that they do um, throughout the day or a couple times a week, that just kind of brings up their general like well-being. We'd love to hear anything from you guys or any part of the discussion throughout the time today.
Got a chat. Yeah, same way.
Mhm. Yeah, both of those.
We got one that said I write down in my phone what I need to get done and check them off. Feels great to have that sense of accomplishment. Yeah, that's that's what we were just talking about with the people that write it down on paper. I mean, it could even be even better putting it down on your phone, since you usually have your phone with you. You can always be checking and kind of like seeing your goals. And we also got another one, daily meditation. Meditation is something that I was doing a lot during COVID. I didn't have a lot of time to do anything else, so I was meditating, and I did feel like definitely more at peace afterwards. I really liked meditating. It's just something that I haven't done since I got back at school, which I really want to start focusing on doing. So that's definitely an awesome one, and one that I've experimented with before.
Yeah, just reiterating what Becca was saying earlier. This is our podcast just as much as it is for everyone in the crowd. If there's anything you guys have to say, use the chat. I know with Zoom, people often get cut off with conversation. That's completely okay. We want to hear from everyone. If you have anything to say or any comments or questions, we're all here to kind of openly talk. It's a free space. But yeah, just use the chat, open the mic, whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with, and we'll keep it rolling.
The daily motivation app. That sounds really cool, actually. I feel like when you see something, like when you wake up, like I have a couple friends who do like fitness pages, and if I wake up and I'll have like low energy, and I see them post something, whether it be them working out or it doesn't have to be like a guilty feeling, but it has to feel like something that like, okay, I could be doing that today and that'll make me feel better. And then usually that kind of translates throughout my day. Like if I do one thing that I feel like I did well and I'm accomplished from it, it just makes my entire day like better. My energy is better. And I think it ties in perfectly with like everything else. Like it could be meditation, it could be exercise, it could be going on a walk, it could be like writing stuff down. I think it's awesome.
I kind of want to circle back to like the small victories every day. I think that's a really big message to take away. My cousin was he was a national champ wrestler, and I interviewed him one day for a paper, and he said everybody wants to come in and get 100% better every single day, which is just not realistically possible, and you'll burn yourself out. So he said he goes in and tries to get 1% better every day, so that way at the end of the season he comes out 110% better. It took me a really long time to understand what he meant by that, but just getting small things done, like maybe going for a walk, getting a mile in, reading 20 pages, 10 pages, talking to somebody you haven't talked to in a bit, anything small, like just small little victories that you can build up will ultimately get you to that big goal in almost no time. And you honestly won't even realize it when it's happening.
Yeah. Personally, like writing those three things it's one of the many preparation type of things that I do when we're talking about like preparing for the next day. But if I had to pick number one, um, I think my number one spot would go to sleep hygiene. Um, I think ever since probably maybe 8 months ago when I like actually started tracking my sleep for the proper amount of time, I've noticed so much of a difference. I didn't know it would make so much of a difference. I was known for like sleeping 6 hours a day, which doesn't seem bad, but after watching a podcast, don't remember the name of it. It was Joe Rogan and a neuroscientist, and he was explaining how taking 1 hour out of your sleep can lead to a 33% loss of performance the next day. And that absolutely changed the way that I viewed sleep. And I completely uh, changed it. And now I try to get 7 to 8, depending on what I have the next day. You know, there's late working hours some nights, but at least getting that minimum of 7, I've noticed a huge difference.
Yeah, sleep is definitely something that I would like to improve on myself. I tend to go to sleep pretty late and force myself to get up in the morning, which is probably the worst thing I can be doing. So, also finding a like a system that works for you um, definitely is something that's good to do. If you can fall asleep at the same time every night, um, it's definitely beneficial to your sleep. Even if you have to get up a little bit earlier or later the next day, just falling asleep at the same time, like kind of having that time clock set every day is big for sleep. I know a lot of people go to sleep a lot later on the weekends and then earlier on the weekdays, stuff like that. It can kind of throw you off. So just being mindful towards like when you go to sleep compared to when you have to wake up definitely is a good way to help your sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sleep.
Becky,
Yeah.
I'm still working on that too. Like that sleep problem is like it's something that I know like it's something I have to capitalize on. And I've been trying to like work effectively to get like 7 to 8 hours. And a lot of the time it comes down to like a work schedule where if you have to wake up early to go to work and so you get done class, like those things that change, like these variables change. And you kind of like you want to make sure you don't beat yourself up about something happening that kind of obstructs your goal. But at the same time, like you want to make sure that you can control those variables more. That's what I've been working on right now.
Hmm. Yeah, we have a chat from Julia saying how working out helps with sleep. I was also going to touch on that, not only just working out, but the effects. I just lost my whole train of thought. As athletes, we're for all of us who train, the recovery aspect that sleep provides is immense. I mean, adding that extra hour, when you take that 33% range into a gym performance, that is absolutely lethal. You know, obviously I can't say that I walked in the next day after getting 8 hours of sleep and I doubled my squat max, but you feel better, and over time you continuously get better and better. And I think there's a lot of overlooked sleep benefits, such as like your energy, productivity. Um, Katie said, mood differences and energy levels. I couldn't agree more. I mean, there's still nights where by 8 o'clock I start to get like completely tired out, which I guess is the one downside of like waking up early. But I'm more of a morning person anyway. I'd rather fall asleep between 9 and 10 o'clock and get up and kind of start my day early, getting that 8 to 9 hours and have that energy throughout the entire day.
I think one of the biggest things I want to push through is that working out doesn't necessarily mean you have to go hit the gym or go hit a mile or something like that, or, completely burn yourself out. There's yoga, dancing, you know, I guess brisk walks. There's a lot of different outlets out there, and I think anything that gets you moving, anything that you like, is something you should do, regardless of what people may think or what people may say. I think you should do what's best for you, especially in a time of a pandemic, where it mostly attacks your cardiovascular and respiratory system. It's really important to make sure you move.
Hey, you definitely got to work the muscle that no one else sees, your heart. I think that's super important. And I think the other important thing with tying into that working out part is you you got to find your own internal motivation. Um, I know there's a lot of people who seek external sources. I see a lot of people post like they're working out to like get back at someone or kind of prove someone else wrong. Um, I think it's something that has to come within, and you have to find your own why. Personally, I just wanted to look better. I always felt just skinny, and that was just kind of my internal motivation. But I would kind of advise against trying to use it as like, you know, I have to look like this person and kind of comparing to standards. You have to have that internal motivation to do it yourself. And I think that motivation can come from anywhere. I know Beckett has a really good story we were talking about a few days ago. If he's comfortable with sharing that and kind of talking about that, I think that
Yeah,
could help.
I'll talk about it a little bit. Um, so this was like a couple years ago, and I just got out of a relationship, and I gained some weight, and I was looking at myself, and I'm like, all right, I can't like sit around, I can't mope around like about this relationship. I gotta get through it, and improve myself because of it. And I ended up working out. I ended up following like a pretty strict calorie limit. Talking with a couple nutrition experts, and um, at first my motivation was, oh well, me and my girlfriend broke up. I want to get out there. I want to look good. I like all this stuff. And then throughout my time losing this weight and getting into like really good shape, I kind of noticed that what was driving me had changed. It wasn't about the ex-girlfriend anymore. It wasn't about trying to look good to make her jealous or to get another girlfriend or anything like that. I kind of fell in love with working out and dieting and eating well and finding new foods that were healthy and also that tasted well. And I ended up losing 40 pounds in about a year. Um, and that was huge for me just because I noticed that motivation doesn't have to stay the same. It started with external motivating factors and went from um, just the trying to look better physically and have more confidence in my body and myself. But it turned into really loving what I was doing and loving finding nutritious food, and it kind of changed to internal factors. And I really found that when it was internal factors driving me, I felt like I was getting more success, and I felt like I was doing it for me more than trying to prove something to other people. And I think that's when I saw like the most success in that.
For sure. I think there's takeaways, definitely from that story. I mean, I know it's not always a breakup that can change, that makes people want to change. It can be a lot of things. It can, even like not specifically working out, but it's kind of that bouncing back vibe. Like if I have an exam and, I studied for it, but I end up getting like an 82. There's like a fire lit under me. That next lecture, I end up taking the most detailed notes I've ever taken. And it's kind of like that bounce back where I need to get better. And I think that translates exactly into what Beckett did, where, it's almost like a bounce back within yourself. And you, once again, I just have to reiterate it. You have to do it for yourself. It's the only way it's going to be sustained.
Yeah, honestly, following with that, like, so had the way you're talking about bouncing back and things, like, there's gonna be so many times where you have a really good week, and the next week's gonna be like super stressful, and you feel like you're falling off track. But it's only been a week, and you gotta like think about what ways you can take the week you had and make it better next week. And that's one thing that, so back in December when I had COVID, that was probably my lowest point since the pandemic started. Obviously, being sick, you're unable to go outside, but mentally I wasn't allowing myself to like do the things that I wanted to do. Whether like I couldn't go to the gym obviously, but it's almost like you feel guilty about doing things when you feel like you shouldn't be. And you gotta give yourself some sort of like leeway to say, okay, I'm gonna regroup and this is how I'm gonna bounce back from that situation. And you gotta make a plan to recover from whatever week you had. If you did it bad on exam, take better notes next week. You're gonna do better like on the next one. And that's one thing like I really hope people can just understand how to not be too harsh on themselves, but also work hard enough to make it better next time.
I want to reiterate basically what you just said. Like it's never too late to start, or you're never too far in the past to kind of get back on that horse. I think a lot of people, if they fall off their own fitness journey and they look back on it and say, I can't get back there. But it goes back to what CJ said with getting that 1% every single day. Like some of these goals that I've written down every day, it's like to reach out to someone through an email. Like it's something super simple, but that's that 1% that if I keep reaching out to different people for emails, one of them is going to click and one of them might lead to a huge internship. Who knows? But it's doing that 1% every single day. And if you do that over the course of 365 days, that's 365 chances to get better. And I just say keep working with it and just never stop.
Yeah, I love that. I love that mindset. Just if you're always doing something to better yourself, or better the people around you, and giving off the positive energy and positive vibes, and people want to know, you just kind of want to just make yourself better. You can come out a lot better of a person just by doing those little things every day.
I think that's another thing our chat said is getting an early workout. I'm a big morning person like Kyle, or Kevin. Sorry, Kevin, and Kyle. But I mean, Kevin's a little psycho. He's like 5:30 in the morning. I'm like 6:30. I'm early, but not like that. I don't know how he does it. But like, I like to get to the gym usually like 10 o'clock in the morning. I like to run at 6:30. But like once I get there, I really feel like awake. I feel like I'm in my zone. I crank a little like ACD. I get my stretches in, my dynamic, my static. Make sure everything's moving, feels right before I work out, and then I'm ready for the day afterwards. I mean, nothing can really beat me after that workout.
Yeah, going off that, what's it called? I know I am referred to as a psychopath for waking up at 5:30, but I don't. I think that's also an overrated type of statement of people getting up too early. I think you have to prioritize that sleep, and if your waking time is like 8 or 9 o'clock, and that's when you can wake up and feel really good, that's when you should be waking up. You shouldn't be forcing yourself to get up at 5:30 if you're not going to be motivated at 5:30. You got to customize it for yourself. 5:30 is just what works for me. Others, it's going to be 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You're like, I don't hit the gym until 9:30 or 10 o'clock anyway. 5:30, that's just my waking hour. That's when I eat. That's when I get a lot of my schoolwork done. And it kind of just sets the tone for the day. I think too many people think like the earlier you wake up, the more productive you are, but it's completely the opposite. It's what works for you.
It honestly translates to school too, especially when you have a long night and you can get your sleep in. You can get yourself up early and motivated and doing stuff. You don't necessarily need to get to the gym, but you can get up and study for that hour before you have to start your day. Like I I have a good like 2 hours before my first class on most days. And I just kind of use that time to like prep myself if I'm not at the gym or running. It's a really good time. I mean, like he said, you see those posts everywhere. It's like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, they get up at 5:30, they get up at 5 o'clock. Oh, one sleeps 4 hours. Thomas Edison slept with a metal ball in his hand that would fall on a plate if he fell asleep. It's really all just BS if you're not really going to use the time. it's like false. It's like watching the Kardashians almost. You really got to do what's best for you. It's always what's best for you. You got to look out for number one.
Yeah.
I love what you guys said about that because, like, no matter what time you wake up, as long as you're getting like enough sleep for yourself and you know what hours you're productive. So, say you wake up at 5 a.m. and you don't do anything like if you were just wake up at 5 a.m. and be on your phone for the first couple hours of the day, then you're kind of just killing that time. But if you wake up at 7:30, 8 o'clock, you know that you go to the gym at 9 or 10 every day, then that's kind of like the good time for you. So when you find that time for yourself, that's how you kind of set the foundation for your day. And it's something that I'm working on too, to like wake up and immediately start, you can prep for something, like you can mentally get ready, have your morning coffee, whatever you have to do to get yourself like on the right track. But I love how you said that, it doesn't matter what time you wake up. It just matters that you're taking care of yourself and you're setting yourself up for that day.
Yeah, I think this ties into my last point here. All of this comes down to the power of choice. I'm going to leave you guys with a little quote to end it. This is probably my favorite quote of all time. It's by Eric Thomas. That guy's he's my go-to mentor when I need to get psyched up for some work. But the quote reads, "To be successful, you have to be able to give up, or you have to be able to sacrifice at any given moment who you are for what you will become." I'm going to repeat that one more time for you guys. To be successful, you have to be willing to give up or to sacrifice at any given moment who you are for who you will become. It's my all-time favorite quote, and it really shows that you have opportunities to take whenever you want. And it ties into the original point where you can't change the circumstance that you're in, but you can take action and you can prepare for those circumstances. We have the opportunities to take all these tips and all these rituals that we discussed today and try to implement them into our life. We can try them, customize them, eliminate the ones that don't work, and keep the ones that do, and at least try them to improve yourself. But we also have the choice to, as soon as we end this meeting, close our laptop, continue on with life, and just completely forget about this conversation that we just had. That's a choice that we have, and we can make up what we end up doing. And the outcome is going to end up with, your outcome is what you decide to do. So I just wanted to pretty much close it up there. If anyone has any other closing thoughts, but I just wanted to leave that out there. If anyone has anything to say, or if they want to reach out to any of us, we're all available. You can email us. We're all open to talk, but we're glad to be able to share this experience with you guys.
Yeah, thank you for giving us the time to talk and share our thoughts, and thank you for those who participated as well. We really enjoy having the conversation with people, and we love talking about these things. So yeah, we're always open to for people to reach out to us.
So can I just add, would you mind sharing in the chat how people can reach out to you? I appreciated your conversation, all of you, and just be curious how people can get in touch with you. And we could also post on our website kind of in a description where people can get in touch as well.
Yep, I'll post the club email down, and I'll also post my Rowan email down there if people want to reach out.
Yeah, I just put mine in there too. Actually, that was private. There we go.
Yeah, but honestly, anybody has any questions or needs any kind of like to ask anything about the club or anything about, mental health, any situation, I'm open to talk always. I know Kevin's definitely open to talk. I know Beckett's open to talk. Tyler, CJ.
Yeah, I mean, my always thing is I'm a huge component of motivating others. And if I can help improve one person, that's so huge to me. It makes me feel so good. And I'm glad to help anyone that I can, whether that's just by having a conversation or, holding someone else accountable. It's something I absolutely live for. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. Any of us are willing to talk. You can email us, find us on our Instagram. Everything's linked in the chat. And thank you guys for coming out. Keep being great.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate all your insight and conversation. That was really an awesome session. So thank you very much.
It's our pleasure.
We appreciate it.